If you have ever been someone that has said, I know he's not perfect right now, but he has so much potential, I need you to stop what you're doing and watch this video, because this video is probably going to change your life. Straight up. I'm just being honest with you. There's a lot of women that chase potential rather than what is actually there, the reality. They're caught in delusion land. All these girls, all these influencers, let's be delusional, manifest delusion. Listen, at some point you got to look at what's in front of you and look at your life and look at what's happening and say, yo, this has to change. And this video is going to be the catalyst for that change. And if you guys don't know me, my name is Sumi. I'm a dating coach. I'm a life coach. I talk about a lot of things that are designed to help your life. I'm all about self-improvement. So if you like my videos, you've seen my content, but you're not tuned in, hit that bell notification to stay locked in on all new uploads that I have. Click the links down below to connect with me. Feel free to message me on Instagram or click the link to talk to me one-on-one. But let's jump into today's episode where I talk about how to stop chasing potential and start chasing reality. A lot of women will fall in love with the future fantasy that this guy will change. They see a guy, they like him, and he's interesting, he's fun, and they're attracted to the volatility, the emotional roller coaster. And then they say, oh, this guy is going to change, this guy's going to be different. But years go by and nothing changes. And when I say years, I'm not exaggerating. Like, women have thrown away years and years and years for the wrong men when they could have easily seen it in the first few interactions. Like, yo, this guy is not good, but they stick around. They stay in it because they may offer her something. And a lot of women don't have the strength to just walk away. So in this video, let's break it down even more. First, I want to talk about why women chase potential. And it's because women are natural nurturers. They fall for men that don't necessarily have everything together. A lot of times women are attracted to broken men. Women are attracted to things that are suffering because you have that nature inside you to help, to heal, to mend, and to improve. Just like a child, like women are naturally caring for children. Not all women today feel that way, but if you saw a baby crying in front of you or a kid in front of you that needed help, you would go and help. And it's just the same thing with the man. They're just a grown baby. And sometimes women are into that. You might deny it all you want. If you're one of these women that has dated a guy that did not have his stuff together, that was not taking care of himself, you need to understand that you are attracted to the baby factor in him. Another thing is that human beings love hope. Hope feels very powerful. Hope is amazing. And the idea that something could be different in the future is so romantic. And a lot of you do it for the plot. A lot of you do it because you're like, oh, he's going through this right now. And once he gets his stuff, he's going to change. And your friends might be telling you no, but that hope is so romantic. And when you're with them, they reinforce it. They talk to you all smooth. It feels good. And last but not least, as much as the media breaks down men that aren't together, there's also a side of media that builds up those guys that haven't had their stuff. I mean, like, look at all the 90s movies. It's this girl that's dating a very rich guy. Like, pretty much every 90s movie's archetype is very rich guy, dates this girl, rich guy isn't so nice, broke guy really likes her, and then he ends up just stealing the girl cheats on him half the time, right? The girl's literally cheating out of a relationship. Like, this is the plot of like the Titanic, a lot of Adam Sandler movies. Like, the girl is cheating on her successful boyfriend with the dude that's a loser, and we've been romanticized in our generation to like that kind of stuff. The underdog, the guy that doesn't have it all. He's the one that's really gonna appreciate me and love me because I'm gonna build him up. But the reality is it don't work that way. Let me tell you, the hard truth is this. Potential is not relationship foundation. You cannot build a relationship on potential. You need to like him for who he is right now and not who he might become. And there's a whole thing that I talk about investing into men, and they're on a process and they're on a journey. The man that you're liking is disciplined, he's focused, he's doing well. I don't think that you should date a guy that is not where he needs to be in life. So even guys like myself that are still building in the entrepreneurial stage, I'm nowhere where I need to be. I'm in a stage where a girl can still like me for, hey, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's trying to stay focused because I am. And there's a lot of guys that are in that stage, and I wouldn't even consider that investing. I think that he's already someone that's already in a position that's doing well. Don't look at dating as investments or building a guy. It's a very dangerous mindset to get in, and a lot of you women do it. So I'm gonna give you some tips here to shift from potential to reality. Okay, let's just jump into it. Number one, observe the habits. Words are cheap, actions can be false, but habits are always real. Someone can say they got X, Y, and Z and they'll do this. Doesn't mean that'll happen. Someone can do an action, like they can buy you flowers if they want, but those flowers might not be genuinely from the heart. They may just be something to ease you in the moment and kind of keep you on ice. I know a lot of guys that have done nice things for girls when they didn't even mean it and they didn't really care. And I know girls that have done nice things for guys when they didn't even care either. But the habits of how you consistently show up every single day, that is what's going to matter, and that is what's important. Speaking of habits, number two, look at his patterns, not his excuses. Look at the things that he actually does on a consistent basis and avoid the excuses. Anytime he gives you an excuse, don't look at that, because it doesn't doesn't matter. Look at what he's doing every single day on a consistent basis to identify what kind of man this is. So does he wake up in the morning and make his bed and drink a cup of coffee and work out and hit his emails? Like, learn these things about him that he's very, very consistent on, and learn the way he treats you in a consistent manner. He always texts you in the afternoon. He hits you up at a certain time, because that's how you're really going to learn who he is. And the consistency and the patterns are really what you have to look for in men. See the theme that I'm kind of building here? Most women that believe in a man's potential are not looking at his actual habits and patterns. They're looking at his behaviors that he could potentially have in some romanticized fashion that has nothing to do with how he actually is. They may buy into his words and a temporary thing that he does, but they don't look at who he actually is on a core level of his consistency and his patterns and his habits. Number 3, really important question. Would I be happy with him if nothing changed for the rest of my life? And that's a dark question for a lot of women. A lot of women would be like, I don't know. And that's what you got to ask yourself. Are you going to be happy with this guy for the rest of your life if he doesn't change? If you had an 18-year-old daughter that you love very much, and obviously this wasn't a big age gap, would you be okay with your daughter dating a man that's exactly like the guy that you're dating right now? A copy-paste version of him? Would you be okay with that? And if the answer is no, and you know he's not a good guy, then pull away, walk away. But if it's an 80% yes, if it's like 80% of me says yes, 20% of me says no, I would probably stick with the guy, honestly, because you're not going to get 100% from really anybody. You got to get that out of your head. No one's going to be the perfect match in the world. They become perfect when you pour into them and you mold them and you build that partnership with them. So when I date a girl, she may not be perfect in the beginning, but as I get to know her, she becomes perfect for me because we start to get along and we start to understand, I like this, you like this, so on and so forth. Number 4, I'm going to talk about respecting your standards. You have boundaries, you have things that you set in place. Respect them. Do not break your boundaries in a very aggressive way for a man. I think that if you like somebody, like obviously I've liked people in my past, I've broken boundaries for them, but it's because I knew that they would reciprocate and I knew that they were good people and I felt safe and secure with them. But if you're breaking your boundaries for someone and they just leave you high and dry, like I've been in a situation where I've made time for a woman outside of my boundaries, outside of my time zone, and she has flaked on me. And so you got to understand that people are going to disrespect you when you don't respect yourself on your own boundaries. So make sure you respect your boundaries. And I'm going to say this for all the ladies out there. You're not judgmental or a gold digger for wanting a man that is successful, that has his life together, that has his stuff together. Men are not superficial for wanting a girl that has a nice body, that looks good and takes care of herself. We as men, we want women that are put together. So it's funny when guys will call girls gold diggers and very superficial for wanting a guy that has his stuff together. That's not called superficial. That's not called being gold digger. That's called having standards. Have standards. Make sure they're realistic, but have standards. You should always be able to give to yourself what you're asking from a man. So if it's something extreme, like a lot of girls ask for a multimillionaire, they can't even make 6 figures themselves, that's where your standards become delusion, okay? And if you're gonna mess with a man like that, you better be bringing a shitload of value in other areas, not just cooking, cleaning, laundry, because that does not equate to millions of dollars. You can cook, clean, make a house, a home, do all that kind of stuff as a service for people. You won't be paid $1 million a year. So let me help you understand something. You need to really be honest with yourself, but you also need to have standards for what you want, and don't lower your standards for people that don't make sense for you, and be very, very critical on how you evaluate yourself, because you're gonna be the most biased for who you are and the things that you do. Obviously, I do things on a day-to-day basis, and I know the reason I do them, not only on a logical level, but an emotional level. So it's very easy for me to overestimate my value to everybody else because I'm so biased in my own self. So be critical on yourself. Be way harder on who you are. The most turn-off thing that I hear people say is, oh, I'm the best, I'm different, you don't know me yet, I'm gonna be different. I'm like, dude, just shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not humble. I hate it when people boast about themselves, and it makes me cringe inside. Always be humble. Always be honest with yourself, but always have your standards and understand where you need to be treated with respect and where you need to be told that you need to do this and that and maybe be put in your place. Look, I make this video for all my ladies out there. I have a lot of love for you. You're not a rehab center. You're not a therapy clinic. You're not a build a man workshop. You're not a charity worker. You're a woman that deserves love, respect, provision, security, all the above. Just as a man also needs these things too. And you should find a man that can provide this for you, and you can give that to him in different ways. That is exactly what a partnership is. And so I want you to realize, if a man's potential is the only thing that's keeping you there, it's time to choose yourself. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to message me on Instagram or just click the link down below to connect with me one-on-one. Till next time, guys. Peace.